Welcome back. In this lecture video, we will discuss index property of soil. See, so the topic is index property of soil. What is this property and how does it help and why we are studying? So, these are the first objective we need to understand. So, look, it goes like this. Index properties of a soil helps or assist an soil engineer to identify soil and classify it under different category. So the basics lies here that index properties are those property. Index property is not a single property. There are many properties which are combinedly called as index property. Okay, so all those properties, study of all those properties called are index property, and a soil engineer, being a soil engineer, one should know all those property and how they are interrelated and how they assist us in identification and classification of a particular type of soil. So, to understand that very briefly in a comprehensive manner, first we need to know that what are those index properties. A. Water content. B. Specific gravity. C. Unit weight. D. Particle size distribution. E. Consistency. F. Thixotrophy. G. Activity. H. Sensitivity. So all these property which I have listed here are the index property, and we will study one by one all in very detail. So this chapter is the basic fundamental chapter, will go very long. It may take about 3 to 4 hours to understand it very completely. So be patient, not patient, patience. Sorry for the mispronunciation. Well, let us start with the very first index property which we have, water content. As we have seen, the basic definition of water content goes like weight of water over weight of solid times 100 because it is represented in percent. So how we can derived, how we can find water content of a soil? There are various methods to determine the water content of soil. So the methods are listed as follow. Methods used to get water content of soil. Very first method is oven dry method. B, sand. The names are important, you should remember the names. Sometimes they ask in objective, they will give 3 to 4 methods and they will ask you that which are the methods are applicable in determination of water content or any other parameter which we are going to study under index properties. So all those methods which I will be naming here are very important and you should remember segregately. Okay, you should not club all those things. So remember clearly. So the first method to determine the water content is oven dry method. Second, sand bath method. Now, the third method, I guess it will be favorite of for all. It names goes like this: alcohol method. Alcohol method. D, calcium carbide method, or it is also called as rapid moisture tester. F, radiation method. G, infrared torsional balance method. Sorry, it will go E and it will go as F, and last one G, pycnometer, famous one. It is a very famous. The numericals are asked by this part and all other resembles objective portion. Pycnometer method. We will discuss all these methods very detailed manner. Pycnometer method. So these are the methods which we can use to determine or which are being used to find out the water content of a given soil. So let's start with the first method, 1, oven dry method. This method is very important in virtue of objective portion. So what is this method and what are the properties which we have to remember while conducting this method? What are the rules actually? So the first point, A, it is a laboratory method, and it gives very accurate results. So this part, accurate method, it is an accurate method as it gives accurate result and it is performed in laboratory. So accurate is important. I will highlight while writing the important lines which should be remembered in any case. So this is an accurate method and performed in laboratory. Now the procedure goes like, in this method moist soil sample is placed in a in an empty container, then okay, so let we do it here itself. So let the weight be W1. Okay, now let it be W2 actually, because we will take W1 as weight of container. W1 equal to weight of container. Now then the moist soil sample W2 is kept under oven for drying. Now what are the temperatures should maintain is important, and this temperature which I will write now is very important temperature. For inorganic, note this, inorganic soil, temperature of oven maintained is approximately 105 degree to 1 just a minute, I will make it clear, 110 degree centigrade. So this is the temperature which is maintained under oven for inorganic type of soil. Soils are basically inorganic. For sufficient duration, for sufficient duration. Now again there is question arises that what is sufficient duration for soil? What is this? So sufficient duration for sand equals 4 hour, for silt and clay means fine grain equals 12 to 16 hour. But in general we keep any kind of soil, let it be any kind of soil, for 24 hours. Okay, it is in general we use, but the recommended values are 12 to 16 hours for fine grains and 4 hours for sand. Gravel, there is no need to find water content for gravel. We in general we perform this test on sand or fine grain soils. So 12 to 64 hour and 12 to 16 hour. But in general, but in general we keep the sample under oven for 24 hours for both type of soil, that is sand, silt and clay. Temperature is maintained 105 to 1110 degree for inorganic soils. Now these are very important lines. Those all lines are asked several times in objective questions. For organic soil, oven temperature should not exceed 60 degree. Why? But why? Why? The reason is it is recommended just to avoid oxidation of organic matters present in soil. Again, for soil containing gypsum, it is also called as plaster of Paris. You should, I think you have heard about this plaster of Paris. So gypsum is very important. It is used in cement manufacturing to reduce the IST, initial setting time. Okay, that is no, it is used to delay actually the premature setting, which is caused due to blight, salite, flight, all those boggy compounds. Okay, C3A actually the premature setting caused in cement due to C3A. So we provide gypsum to contradict that, to avoid the premature setting. So delay initial setting time. We used to delay the initial setting time. So gypsum is a very famous compound that have several utilities in engineering. basically in civil engineering. So for soil containing gypsum, if there is such soil which contains gypsum, so what is the chemical formula? It is calcium sulfate with 2H2O. This is water crystallization water, crystal water. Crystal water. Okay. This is gypsum. Then the oven temperature should not exceed 80 degree 80 degree centigrade. Why? But why? It is because to prevent the loss of crystal water with crystal water of gypsum. Because as why we need to prevent crystal water its loss, as it is not the part of soil moisture content. Very simple, it is not part of soil moisture content, because it is part of the gypsum compound. Okay. As it is chemically bonded to the calcium sulfate and it is water of crystallization. Also there is a restriction, but in no case the temperature of oven should exceed 110 degree. Make a red mark here, it is a restriction. 110 degree temperature should not exceed 110 degree in any case. Why? It is because if temperature exceeds 110 degree, then there will be loss of structural water of soil, and it is also not allowed. Hence temperature in no case should exceed 110 degree in oven, because structural water of soil is also not part of soil moisture content. Structural water of soil leading to destruction of soil solids. Okay. So which type of water are removed in oven drying process? This question has been asked actually, so I am making a note here. Note. This is a question which is asked once. So types of water, we are having a chapter over the types of water in soil. We will see later it. So types of water get removed by oven drying method. The waters are groundwater. What are these? We will discuss it later in brief. Groundwater, capillary water, hygroscopic water, film water, etc. These are the waters which are removed, and not removed structural water and water of crystallization. These are the waters which are not removed by conducting oven drying process in order to determine water content of soil. So what is the procedure? Let this is it's going to Delhi, Bombay. Okay, again it happened. Well, this is in three phase: solid, water and air. So let this be weight of water, this be weight of solid. So water content goes weight of water time over weight of solid into 100. So this is the water content. Then how to determine by oven drying method? As I have said, let this be empty container, W1 empty container. Now filled with moist soil, that is the soil for which we need to determine water content. W2 equals W1 plus weight of moist soil. Now it is kept under oven dry. So no, not dry actually, it is kept under oven, and here temperature equals for general 105 degree to 110 degree. For organics should not be greater than 60 degree. For gypsum content should not be greater than 80 degree centigrade. So after oven drying we get the dry mass. Okay, this will be soil and this will be air only. Okay, so we get W3. So water content is equal to weight of water over weight of solid. So what is weight of water? It is W2 minus W3 and what is weight of solid? Here it will be W3 minus W1. Yes or not? Sorry, just reverse it. It will be W3, it will be W2. Okay, let me erase and be clear. W2 times 100%. This is how we need to determine the weight of water content. This is the method or procedure. Now let be forward towards the second method, B, sand bath method. It is a field method. Okay, so what we do actually, there is a container and there is a equipment to make fire or provide lightning to raise the temperature. This is fire, and here we got sand. We heat the sand. Okay, and there is another container which we have and in which the soil sample is kept. This is the soil sample. So this is sand, this is bath or the bowl. Sand bath, what this term signifies? Look, the soil is just dipped in the sand, heated sand, to evaporate the moisture from the moist soil sample. This is moist soil sample. It looking like it is similar to someone bathing in a pond or lake. Here soil is bathing in sand, hence sand bath method. Moist soil sample. So after heating this, it will become oven dry, similar to dry soil. Then we will just compute the water content we will determine. But what are the demerits? There is no control over temperature. Hence, this method is not suitable for soil containing organics and gypsum content. Gypsum content where temperature is to be controlled. Okay, for organics it should not exceed 60 degree, and for gypsum soil having gypsum content it should not exceed 80 degree. But in heating equipment. Fire. But in this method, how there is no any control na? How can you control the temperature of the bath? It is not feasible. Hence this method is not suitable for this type of soil. Soil with organics and soil with gypsum. This is the only demerit. Okay, and rest all are same. Also, since there is no control over temperature, since there is no firm control over temperature during experiment, so result achieve result derived by this test may be okay, it's not that it is, it may be erroneous, because there are what possibility of losing structural water of soil and destruction of soil solid. This is the demerit of this, and rest computations are similar to the previous method what we have seen in case of oven drying. Let me adjust the page. Okay, just a minute. Okay, let's move to the interesting method which we have, third one, alcohol method. Okay, if you have ever tasted alcohol, then you will have experience that after waking up at morning, you you are thirsty like anything. You need water. Okay, you need to drink water because your thirst increases. You have a high thirst. Why it is? It is because alcohol is a oxidizing agent. It it is a dehydrating agent. It removes water from your body. It sucks the water is sucked by alcohol. Okay, it get evaporate. Similarly, by using the same concept, we pour, sorry, I have gotten call. So in this method, methylated spirit, and what is this? This is nothing else, alcohol is added in soil. For what purpose? I have said to increase, sorry, again I need a eraser. to increase rate of evaporation. Water from it. Why? What is the property of methylated spirit? Since methylated spirit is a oxidizing agent, therefore it may result in oxidation of organic compound and gypsum from soil sample. Hence, it is not suitable for this type of soil. Which type of soil? That is soil containing the organics and the calcium compounds. This method is not suitable. Do you believe that this is a method to calculate the water content? No, it is basically an aid. It's not a pure method, it's an aid to calculate the water content of soil to help at other method, because the basic objective of adding methylated spirit is to enhance the rate of evaporation of water from the moist soil sample. Okay, so let's move towards the next method, which is an important method, and the name goes as which method? It is a fourth number, method number 4. It is calcium carbide method. It is important method because in field we perform at this method. The moisture content at field is calculated on basis of this method. It is a quickest test. It is one of the quickest method to find water content, as it gives result within calcium carbide CaCl2. Sorry, it's not CaCl2. It is calcium chloride. Because it gives results within 5 to 7 minutes. Hence, it is very quickest method. Instrument used in this method is called as moisture tester. 4 to 6 gram of soil sample is placed under moisture tester and calcium carbide CaC2 calcium carbide in powdered form is added to soil sample and the system is closed, packed, it is packed. Okay, there is such arrangement. Now what happens, how we are able to determine the moisture using this? CaC2 reacts with water present in soil and result in liberation of acetylene gas. Okay, acetylene gas, sorry, just a minute. And this exert pressure over the diaphragm. Diaphragm is a layer beneath the moisture meter which is enclosed under the moisture meter. Over the diaphragm of moisture tester, and this pressure is compared against a calibrated chart concerning relation between exerted pressure and water content. So this is the method to determine the water content using this method. Chemical formula for acetylene gas is C2H2. So the reaction which occurred is CaC2 plus H2O gives C2H2 gas plus lime. CaOH, calcium hydroxide. So more the moisture content, so more the moisture content, more will be more will be amount of acetylene gas evolve. For a idea, so here is the soil plus H2O, moist soil, and the gas evolved is C2H2 gas. This is the diaphragm over which pressure is exerted, and here is a dial pressure reading meter. And this pressure is calibrated with against a standard chart. Here one side there is a pressure, magnitude of pressure, and here water content. So there are values against different values of pressure. For example, let for 1 Pascal pressure reading it be W1, for 2 Pascal it is W2. Such, if there is any intermediate value, we will interpolate it. Okay, interpolation. I guess I believe everyone should know the method of interpolation because it is the most basic method a civil engineer should know how to interpolate data between two values. So here we end up with the calcium carbide method. The next method, or the fifth one actually, is radiation method. It is a very scientific method. What happens is, I will make you understand the procedure first. Let this be the ground level. Now this is the